Yeah. What's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You know who this is? Your boy King P, Bodega Box in the building. Ring Game Radio all day. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Anyone banned from the bodega?
That whole All-Star event should be banned from the bodega. That shit was 2-pack of ass.
Yo, I only saw like highlights here and there. I didn't even bother nigga watching that because All-Star Weekend hasn't been All-Star Weekend in a long time. And that dunk contest was sad. Like, I thought it couldn't get no worse when Brent Berry won the fucking dunk contest. But man, yeah, I was just like, I was like, I stood corrected. Ugh. Yeah. Like before, yeah, I don't know what the NBA is doing. I mean, it's the same thing with the NFL. Like Pro Bowl weekend. It's all watered down shit. I can't watch any of
nigga,
that.
what was that? Jason Richardson's son? That nigga that busted his skull on the fucking pavement?
Yeah, Jace. Yeah, Jace Richardson.
I mean, dude clearly didn't get his Duncan jeans from his pop. His pop
and yo, and I ain't gonna lie, you right, King P, because how the fuck y'all let a nigga with a torn Achilles win the 3-point contest? That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy. This nigga hasn't played a game in fucking like 200 days. And y'all niggas let this nigga come in, win the fucking 3-point contest, and go home.
Yeah, no. At the end of the NBA needs to get this shit together because there's nothing about that All-Star Weekend that I'm just like, this shit is cool. Like this shit is trash. Like it's unbelievable trash. So, like I didn't even before that used to be like I used to sit there and actually watch the shit, but now I was just like, yeah, I was out. I caught some highlights, and that was that type shit. Yeah, like no, yeah, they need to be banned until they can get back to how it used to be. But yo, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's Fly's Conscious Pilot, the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender? Let's get it. Ring Game Radio.
Yes, sir. Conscious Pilot stays elevated above the clouds. You dig? And last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, you already know who the fuck it is. It's your boy Rome Top 5, Chicago's own in the building, Southside. We here. What's up?
Yes, sir. You know, we Chi-Town in the house again. You know, I'm not gonna say anything about the Bears though, because the football season's over, and I got to wait until a couple months to kind of.
We in hibernation. The Bears.
Yeah, we in hibernation right? For the time being, unless one of our teams does something incredibly stupid. So.
Or smart.
Or smart. Yeah, right. But largely incredibly stupid. Because like I said, because last weekend was the first weekend without football, and then I'm pretty sure.
Kind of sad. I'm going around watching college basketball. Like I'm like, damn, what the fuck do I do with my evenings, nigga?
Yeah, college basketball. I stopped fucking watching it because college basketball is falling off so bad. It's just like, ugh.
No, it's been good actually.
I stopped when I got college.
I ain't gonna lie. But look, I ain't gonna lie. This week that I've been watching, a lot of underdogs have been whooping niggas like in the last minute, like coming back, beating them on their home floor, like once in a lifetime wins for these niggas. So it's been dope. It's been dope. But I'd rather watch some niggas cracking skulls. Pause.
Yeah, no, that's facts though. But yeah, I like I said, I used to be so hardcore into college basketball now, but yeah, it's kind of not what it used to be. Because at one point, college basketball used to have like star power like NBA, but now they ain't no real stars like that in college basketball. It's just teams that come out of nowhere and they're all of a sudden like they're like a powerhouse type shit. So it's like, but but like I said, it might be one of those sports I'm just gonna have to kind of like, okay, I might have to start watching it because I need to fill up my Sundays with something, because not everything can be Netflix or anything. But however, though, there was at least some boxing on Sunday night. I know Pilot. I know me and Pilot definitely watched it with the main event of F.A. Ajagba versus Charles Martin. And on paper it wasn't. On paper it didn't look all that interesting, but how it played out though was like, back-to-back KO of the year candidates. And a pretty good heavyweight fight, like
for how long it lasted.
Was that?
I said it was good for how long it lasted.
Yeah, well, it lasted longer than I thought it would last. It lasted 4 rounds. I thought it would have ended in like maybe 2 or some shit like that.
Hey, but Martin's done them a few times, though. I ain't gonna lie.
He did, and because F.A. Ajagba is a little bit of a slow starter, because he takes a while to get his jab going before he starts throwing his long right hands and stuff like that. But Martin's best chance was actually to hurt him early, which he did. He did a couple of times, especially in the second round, though. But
yeah, he had him wobbly for a sec.
Yeah, no, but Martin, though, like I said, he's put I don't think few fighters have actually extended their 15 minutes as long as ever since Dude won that heavyweight title. Was it like 10 years ago, at least 10, 11 years ago? Like every single time he's in a big fight, he loses. Clearly, he doesn't really. I mean, with the exception of the Ortiz fight, where he had moments before he actually got clocked, But yeah, it's like I don't expect much from him right now. But it's just a trip to me that he gets announced as a former heavyweight champion. But it's just like he won his title on a fluky injury, and it's just like he lost it in his first title defense, and like pretty much anytime he faces a live body, he gets his ass whooped at some point. But yeah, it was inevitable though. Because like once F.A. Ajagba started landing that right hand, like bro was on Queer Street, like he was out of there.
That was wrong. I mean, and shout out to the referee Thomas Taylor, the best in the business, because he called it off perfectly. You know what I'm saying? He gave him enough chance to recover and fight back, but he called it perfectly. Like there was a perfect stoppage when it did.
Yeah, it was because it was only a matter of time before F.A. Ajagba turned out Dude's lights. Because he was wobbling all over the place, like I said with Mario, you don't want him to get laid out like that. Which F.A. Ajagba, like he may be a little slow with the hand speed though, but he hits like a fucking ton. Like he's the guy you can't let him hit you like that. But F.A. Ajagba, at least but that's the type of statement that you make. Once because he left Top Rank and went signed with Zuffa, and he hadn't had a stoppage in about 3 years, give or take. So it's like, one way to stop a former heavyweight champion and have that on his record. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with him, like how they move forward with him within the Zuffa ranks, because like I said, the champions are not in Zuffa, so we'll see if Dana will actually let him fight off that shit. Because he needs to at least he's probably due for a title shot or at least a title eliminator. Well, he did avoid a title eliminator. But now I think he is ready for he is ready for one. So, but like I said, that Zuffa boxing though, that shit was on point last night, the other night. And like I said, if you ain't seen the uppercut KO on there, I'm pretty sure I think that was probably the most viral of the two brutal knockouts. That one was ridiculous. I mean, old boy's feet. Like it was trembling, like he was looking, he had no idea where he was, and his feet was trembling. Like that was such a brutal knockout. I know I think I said that to LB because I want him to put on the TikTok or whatever. But yeah, no, Zuffa, like I said, they still have some ways to go, but just but at least with every week you hear new names joining up and everything like that because they want to fight, they're not getting they want dates to fight. And Zuffa has the only organization that actually has a TV contract, so like at least almost every week, you'll at least see a Zuffa fight on TV. But if they're gonna be airing stuff on Sunday, like which kind of fills in the void for football, I'm not even mad at it though. But yeah, just how I mentioned, like that was gonna be boxing this weekend, like I said, and it was entertaining for what it was. So I can't complain all that much. But this coming fucking weekend, there's a shitload of boxing. Of course, the most noteworthy of that one, and probably the better of the cards is, Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. Was that?
No, I said that's
yeah, no. And the main event.
I know Pat is totally looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard Frank Martin. I hear Albright might not be on the actual. It might be the prelim closer, which pissed me off. It should be on the main card, but either way, it's a good fight.
I mean, as long as they do air it, like the fights on there. I mean, there's gonna be one fight on there. I mean, well, after the main event that I truly don't really like, and that's the Bet the Bully fight, though.
It's gonna be weird seeing fucking a bunch of PBC fighters find the zone. It's kind of weird.
Well, they have to because
they have no choice.
PBC.
They have no choice.
Yeah, I mean PBC is like, they only announced one pay-per-view so far. Like I mean, I think their budgets. It wasn't like it was with Showtime where they were actually able to like have to announce whole fights and cards like 3-4 months in advance, like like the whole thing. Like no, it's just like it's hearsay, she said, and then eventually they announce it. And they only have that one with Thurman and Fundora so far. So, but yeah, I mean they gotta get those dates too, and hey, they gotta find the ring cards. They gotta find the ring cards. But yeah, with Barrios and Ryan Garcia, like Ryan Garcia shouldn't even be fighting for this belt. Shouldn't be fighting for a belt. Period like that. But unfortunately, boxing is a business. And that little racist motherfucker moves the needle in boxing. He, because he's. I mean, he hits hard. He has an online following. And like I said, just most people actually like want to see him fight, even though this motherfucker's coming off getting his ass whooped by Rolly of all people. So, and then you have Mark.
If he was Rolly and Barrios back to back, like go to Brand Risk or go to Misfits, because I mean I know not really because he got the name and cachet, but if you can't beat Rolly and Barrios, you're done.
Yeah,
I mean,
I let it be known. I've never been a Ryan fan even before he got like. I always thought that he was I always thought he was mid as fuck. But like I said, but this motherfucker was like, oh my god, wow, and his videos and shit like that. I couldn't fucking stand that shit. Like I thought he was a lame. But
he was trolling. Remember, he was coming up in the early age of trolling, nigga.
Man,
yeah.
I mean, trolling is one thing, but this motherfucker went on a whole racist rant talking about I hate niggas, I hate Muslims. So
kill George Floyd, bury him.
But wasn't he on drugs right then?
Yeah, he was.
Man, it doesn't matter, bro.
He drugged out of his mind. It doesn't matter, but he did sound drugged out of his mind. A lot of those whatever I caught those clips of him streaming.
Mental health is real, bro. Let these niggas rehab.
Can't always, apologize. You can't preach Jesus all the time and then say all that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, like that Jews. Yeah, no, Ryan's a fraud. Like he's a fraud and he's a racist. Like I'm not like, letting him off the chain because, like I said, mental health issues, and then all of a sudden you feel the need to spell off racist rhetoric. Nah, fuck him. Fuck Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is if you're racist, and of course he's a Trumper too. On top of that. So yeah, there's not much to. I mean, obviously, there's not much to like from him. But like I said, he moves the needle, like what few boxers actually do today. So that's what pretty much carried him to this shot. Because Mario Barrios, who I've also talked shit about, is also mid as fuck. Like, dude has more draws in his title defenses than wins. Like, he can't. Like, I mean, Abel Ramos, like he came close to losing that belt. Pacquiao, he probably should have lost that belt, although it was a lot closer, but. The fact that dude couldn't soundly beat a Pacquiao that was old and rusty, hadn't fought in about 3+ years, and that was the performance that he puts on. Like, nah, bro, like get him the fuck out of here. And I won't even go into his past because that's inconsequential. Because I can rant on how terrible I think Mario Barrios is forever.
So what you thinking about this then? Who you rooting for in this bitch?
Yeah, well,
I'm picking the draw.
Let's hear your prediction.
The draw. It's gonna be a draw because Barrios
again 3 in a row.
Yeah, Barrios can't separate himself from nothing.
What?
Yeah, and Ryan Garcia is like I said, Ryan Garcia. I mean, they both can punch, but they're both mid with their boxing skills. But Barrios is showing me he can't separate himself from his competition. So yeah, that's gonna be a draw.
Listen, this is gonna be hands thrown, high punch count, high connection rate, some blood, some cuts. These niggas are gonna go at it. I feel like
you expect a war.
I don't see it as a war, but I feel it as an even exchange, like a good exchange. And I feel like Barrios' work rate, I like his work rate over Ryan's work rate. Like, I feel like they're kind of similar in fighting style, but I fuck with Barrios. I got Barrios in this. By decision, though. By decision. Yeah,
What about you, Pilot?
because the judges won't fuck with Ryan, so they're gonna let him make him lose.
I want Barrios to end Ryan's relevancy for 100%. I got this weird feeling though. Barrios now, Brandon Figueroa proved me wrong. I called him a sharp one, 30 years old, and he pulled it off. And I think Barrios is similar age, 29, 30 years old, where he's been through wars. You remember he had a war with Cowboy Carl. I thought he beat Akhmadov. I thought it wasn't that much of a fucking robbery like Pat thinks, whatever. Some people think that. But anyways.
Damn, Skippy, I think it's robbery. Shit.
For some odd reason, I'm thinking Ryan's going to KO him early. I don't know. I know Ryan lost to Rolly, and he didn't have the Austrian and all that shit. But for some reason, I just think it's kind of set up for Ryan to win. But Ryan's going to somehow land the left hook and get Barrios out of there like in 2 or 4 rounds. And it's over. And then his name will be back to where it was, and people forget about the Rolly shit. So I want Barrios to win, but I think it might be a wrap for him.
So you're thinking it's gonna be? So you saying Ryan KO in 4?
Ryan by KO and under 6.
What about you, P?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this fight's gonna be dull. This is gonna be a dull fight. Like both guys have slipped. Both guys seem like they haven't been interested in engaging and moving their hands. So, I'm. You know what? I do think Barrios having Goosen in his corner against Ryan, who he trained for his last couple
that's
fights.
Dope. That's dope. I didn't know
definitely,
that.
He's definitely going to have the blueprint there.
Yeah, right. He gonna know how to break him down. That's good. I like that.
So even though Barrios is mid and getting worse, it could barely beat Pacquiao. I think he beats Ryan. I got it 116, 112 Barrios.
Yo, but real quick, how often does that happen where the guy who was training ends up training the nigga that he's fighting the next fight, and then the nigga ends up whooping him or whatever? How often does that happen? Is that rare or what's up?
I mean, I think it happens from time to time.
But I'm saying, like, give up the blueprint to the nigga and make him lose. Like, oh, I know his weakness. Let me show you. Type shit.
It goes back to like when like Floyd Sr. trained Oscar against Floyd, because when Floyd
that's
Sr.
what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then Oscar just off his jab alone was giving Floyd fits, and arguably won a card based off his jab. You know, he came the closest to actually beating Floyd. So,
that's a good example. That's a good example.
Yeah, like because I mean, Oscar never looked as good technically as he did in that fight with Floyd. Like Floyd, that was. I know people like to say that Floyd had an easy night with Oscar, you know. But
and Ryan has never been untouchable, so it's not like this nigga is just some like crazy nigga that we gotta diagnose this nigga. Let's go watch this nigga.
Right.
Like, no.
And unfortunately, neither is Barrios. Barrios in all his fights, really, except for the Ugas fight, gets hit and he gets bashed up. You know, that's one thing. Ryan, though, once he gets hit, he kind of goes, he puts his hands back in the holster, like the Rolly fight, like because Rolly, for whatever reason, you know, like I said, this is boxing. Rolly has Ryan's number, you know, so it's like because Rolly is retard strong, he hits hard, he's hard to kind of hurt. You know, he basically
and Rolly's improved a lot since when he went to Ismail Salas. He's improved a fucking lot. I felt like. You know, leaving bullet and shit. His training.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's only had one fight with dude at least.
I think he had 2. I think he had 2. He might have had 2.
Yo, King P, when you say dull, do you think these niggas not gonna throw punches or are they gonna run around?
I don't.
What you mean
I don't think they're gonna throw. I don't think they're gonna throw as many punches as you think.
I mean, this is gonna be a dud. I mean, we're gonna talk about another fight that could be fight of the year on there, but there's some bangers on here. But this one could be a stinker. I feel a piece saying it could be a stinker.
I mean, but the energy is because Ryan's fights, you know, they have the energy. So, like, you know, he may be motivated to actually throw some hands. Well, Barrios, if given opportunity, will throw hands, but it just depends on whether or not he feels like he wants to take some damage.
I mean, Barrios is usually, you know, the Netflix fight was good. I know the Manny Pac was kind of dull, but usually Barrios is in a good fight because
Barrios is a show out. I like Barrios. I've always liked Barrios.
You be having fun fights and shit, you know.
Yeah, but that's why
I thought he was whooping Tank. Honestly, when I was watching that fight, I was like, yo, this nigga is whooping Tank. Fuck
He was
that.
giving Tank the business. He was giving Tank the business till he
He
wasn't.
was whooping Tank's ass. Tank was like running for his life until he knocked his ass out.
Yeah, but like I said, it's just one of those fights. But at least, I mean, Tank at least finished dude within the distance like he was supposed to. But I never thought of that as like a good flex because it was. I mean, that was his first fight at 140, his only fight at 140. But I don't ever call that a flex considering how mid Barrios has actually looked since that fight. So it's like,
I mean, and Ryan took a knee and he's looked mid after that too.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan just got took apart by Tank, whereas Barrios was giving it to Tank, for well into the. I mean, he was probably winning on at least a card or two before he got KO'd.
I ain't gonna lie. When you look at it, Ryan's been on the downtrend for a minute. This nigga's about to get out of here. Barrios is gonna whoop his ass.
Yeah, I mean, unless of course Ryan, is ostrained up a little bit. I mean, we'll see. Like, I mean, obviously, because within Haney, obviously. He blew weight and he was PED'd up, and that left.
That Haney fight don't count in my eyes no more. That shit was just like a lapse in memory. Like fuck that.
Well, no, it was unfortunate.
I mean, you can't say it doesn't count, but yeah,
it don't count. It don't.
Yeah, to Ryan fans, that fight counts.
Because Ryan looked like he was juiced up and he was acting crazy, so that nigga was super juiced up.
Yeah. But like I said, but for Ryan though, like if he can't beat Barrios, then it's like what you go after Crocker, because you're not gonna. I mean, Haney does hold a welterweight belt though, but who knows if rematch will ever pop up between those two again with all the shit that ever went down. But
check it like this: if you check it out, if you were great, right? And you was so great and you was doing such good things, and then all of a sudden you start falling off and you got to cheat to get back to where you was, you're not going back to where you was. That's just what I'm saying. Like, if he had to cheat, the nigga's done.
No, I agree. Like I said, I mean, he looked mid against Rolly. Rolly was outboxing. Like, just the fact that Rolly outboxed Ryan and that shit is true. Like, yeah, that it's not. It wasn't a good look at all for that dude. Like he didn't give Rolly no type of trouble, whereas Rolly had began his ass handed to him, before that. So it's just like, what the fuck, But I got the odds for this fight too. So the money line has Barrios as the plus 198 underdog.
Hammer, hit the hammer on that shit.
And Garcia is minus 260. Barrios decision is plus 340. That's probably where your value is. Barrios stoppage is plus 600. Draw is plus 1500. That's my play. Garcia decision is plus 220, and Garcia KO is a plus 125. So yeah, the odds are all are low key kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm taking Barrios money line.
Yeah,
that's a good $50 play, whatever.
Yeah, like I said, well, the draw, like I said, because I just have
Barrios' decision sounds about right.
Yeah, I didn't expect it would be like 340 though. Jesus, but hey, like I said, man, like you could make some money on this fight though. But if I hit that draw though, I'm gonna jump for fucking joy. Oh man, though, But as Pilot mentioned, though, there are some other bangers on this card. Like there are other fights that are actual true bangers. Like I know one of my favorite fights on there, and this is a fight that finally happened, which should have happened on the Jake Paul card if Tank had stayed on. We got Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hiroka. Russell's making his first title defense since whooping on Rayo. So like I said, I mean, this one has been postponed and so many fucking times. And Hiroka I've mentioned before, Hiroka should have got a shot at this title. Like it shouldn't have had to take Russell to actually do it though. But this fight could steal the show depending on things. Because they're both southpaws, they're both very offensive minded, and like I said, and they both hit like a fucking ton. One is just more dynamic than the other. Pilot, what do you think about this fight?
This is a motherfucking banger. You talking about Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hiroka?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is a motherfucking banger. Like this, remember this was supposed to be on Tank Paul until Tank crashed out again. But yeah, stylistically, I mean, this is fight of the year on paper. I can't see how it could be boring. I mean, there's always a chance, but yeah, this, you know, um, Gary Anton Russell has a really high work rate. Hiroka's pause, he's long. I think he's like 5'11". You know what I'm saying? It's pretty long for a junior welterweight. I'm expecting a fucking war for as long as it lasts. I think Gary Anton Russell's gonna win, but I could, I have seen Rancis Barthélemy stun him in his tracks. I've seen, Puello outboxed him too, so he's not unbeatable anymore. And that 100% KO ratio, since moving up in a competition, has went away. That power isn't as valid as it seemed. So I will say Gary Anton Russell wins the decision, but I wouldn't. I'm just expecting a fucking banger. I think Gary Anton Russell in a close fight of the year type, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I believe some of the same thing because I do believe Russell win a decision, but one thing that Russell can't do is he has to, number one, he can't rush in because Hiroka operates as a counterpuncher. That's one thing.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, like dude, like if you give him the opportunity, dude will beat the fuck out of you just off counters alone. Like Barroso got torn apart with counters, and so it's like.
How much do you see, Pat, in terms of Gary Anton Russell and the Porter comp? Like, do you see similarities in their style, Sean Porter and Gary Anton?
No, because Russell can punch correctly, whereas Porter had a bit of Tim Bradley in him when
Tim
Bradley. Yeah, no, I Porter, I couldn't stand. I always used to watch Porter back in the day in on Showbox and shit like that, and they would be wondering how the fuck did he?
No, but the thing is, he got my respect at the Danny Garcia. I thought Danny Garcia was gonna knock his block off, and he outboxed the fuck out of Danny Garcia and mixed it up a little bit. So that
that fight, I think that was one of the fights I predicted to a T, that was going to be.
Yeah, he outboxed him and shit, So,
it was the Devin Alexander fight that had me surprised that he actually won. I wasn't happy about that one, but yeah, I was surprised though. But Hiroka, like I said, I think the biggest thing that works against Hiroka is his experience because, like I said, Russell at least has had some, his competition has been slightly better. This is Hiroka's this is a big step up from knocking out the Barrosos in the world. So
he did that to Sasaki before Norman did, but that Sasaki is kind of reckless and wild, so that's not too impressive.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very like I said, if Russell has to kind of fight him correctly, if he gets tired against dude or he rushes in, Hiroka can absolutely KO him. Hiroka can KO him. And I'm saying it because I'm a fan of the Russell brothers.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, if he's not careful, Hiroka punches a ton. He can absolutely KO Russell in this fight. But I'm guessing I'm just gonna go. But I'm definitely go with Russell's experience and say he'll probably win a close 115, 113 type decision. P, what do you think?
Shit, I think Russell stops him late.
Okay.
11th round, but I think he's gonna have issues only because Hiroka can sit down on his punches, so he can't be reckless.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there will be I think Hiroka will leave openings at time to time, and I think Gary will be able to rush in and take advantage of it at times, as long as he's not reckless.
Yeah, Hiroka's defense isn't anything special either. He does get hit from time to time. I think it's average if he does get hit. So I can see that too. Ron, what do you think?
I think I got Hiroka. You was right. Hiroka with the counters. But I feel like Gary, first title defense, I feel like this is what's going to solidify this nigga. They're going to be like, you know what, this nigga is the truth. This nigga's the one. He's here to stay. I feel like he's going to pull a win out on this. I don't think stoppage, though. I think this is going to be a decision fight because two cold-ass niggas. Yeah, you right. Pilot, fight of the year candidate, probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and the money line, too, is Russell is a minus 350 favorite. Hiroka is plus 250. They don't have
they're giving a nigga no chance.
Yeah, they'll get there.
Well, yeah, they don't know him, so I mean, like again, Hiroka could win this. He could chin him. He could.
Yeah, he could. Like I mean, like I said, I mean, if this ended in a KO, I wouldn't be surprised. But like I do think this is I do like if this fight is dull, I'll be completely surprised. Like these guys are way too explosive. Like they punch way too hard for this fight to be dull. Like I said, I mean, and like I said, Hiroka, like I said, it's about damn time that you guys title shot. So I wonder if this is the actual co-main though, because I know sometimes the ring they like to kind of move, like Pilot I think alluded to, like they like to move some of their fights around. But I mean it's definitely a co-main type of fight. Like there's no like I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Or but then we have another fight on there: Richardson Hitchens and Oscar Duarte.
This could be dull, but it could be good too.
Well, I won't say it's dull because Duarte, first of all, I don't understand how Duarte passes his PED test. Like every time I look at that dude,
clearly, you saw the pic of him. He looks like he's juiced out his mind with that shit.
Yeah, every single fight that dude is in, like he sets off red flags. Like because for a guy that's at 140, like dude is built like a fucking like a brick house, and he's like he has veins all over his place, like his fucking biceps, like he has them signs of PED usage, and he fights like it too. Like it's the one win of Ryan Garcia that's actually aged well because he's the only guy to stop him, and even Ryan got put through the ringer with that dude, But Duarte though, yeah, like he's a motherfucker to fight. Like he stopped Jojo Diaz. I know Oscar, it was Jojo Diaz, and I know there was another fight that he stopped or whatever. He and truthfully, he's the type of guy that Hitchens has trouble against because I didn't forget about that damn fight that Hitchens had with fucking
Gustavo Limos. Yep.
Yeah, no, like I mean, yeah, like but then people are like super confident that Hitchens will be able to keep Duarte away, and I'm thinking to myself, I just don't see it.
Yeah, he might give him pressure. This is gonna be a good barometer to how good Hitchens really is, because I know he stopped Cambosis, whatever. Because you can see the talent, you can see that he got the jab, the defense, he's good at distance management. But we saw the Limos fight, we saw what Keyshawn did to Limos a little after that. So this is gonna kind of gauge, if like. This is gonna see how good Hitchens really is against Duarte, because if he handles him, you know what I mean. If he's able to handle him and neutralize him, then it shows he got he's of another level. But if I could see him struggling too again.
Yeah, or I could see him running from Duarte's because Duarte has a crazy work rate. He's a front foot pressure fighter. Like every single fight, like I said, you have to hurt him like in order to make it like that, like Kenneth, he fought Kenneth Sims like last, and Sims is usually pretty good in like handling that type of fighter, but Sims was all the way beat up after the end of that fight. Akhmadev, who and this is like he truly beat Akhmadev. Like, and I couldn't even say anything about that one.
Hitton said he's gonna go for a knockout, but you know how that goes. You say let's promote the fight, but he says he's gonna go for it. So we'll see.
Yeah, the funny things too with Hitchens though is I think he punches a lot harder than he seems, but I think he's just I just think he lives and dies by the jab
because he's easily a welterweight. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, no, I honestly think like when he starts talking like that, I'd be rolling my eyes because although his temperament doesn't allow him to be fully offensive, like Cambosis, even in that Cambosis fight, he could have gotten rid of Cambosis a lot earlier than he did.
Yeah, he got 10 around. You know what? To me, I always felt Tiger Johnson, Africa Hitchens, and Devin Haney is like the fucking Bulbasaur, like Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, the evolution. I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's similar, there's very similar fighters, temperaments and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Like, although Haney though was never like Haney actually was a puncher at some point. But Hitchens though, like I said, he was like he always had a great jab or whatever, but I just couldn't stand like he was more satisfied with boxing up somebody in the first gear than stepping on then going to there and putting them away. Like I said, Cambosa's gut was what it was, but like I said, it could have been done earlier. But this fight will probably answer the question if he can actually truly handle a front foot pressure fighter, because Duarte is going to be in this space for 12 rounds. And Duarte has a good chin. Like I said, only Ryan Garcia left hook had him on Queer Street.
And he was giving Ryan Garcia that business until it felt like
exactly. So so like I said, now if fucking Hitchens knocks him out, then I'll be like, well, shit, boxing.
And then he's gonna be in that mix with the Keyshawn and Devin. He'll be because he's kind of hovering because he has the personality. He doesn't have the personality and shit. He's kind of boring in the ring. You know what I mean? He's a little boring. Like
my thing with Hitchens though is he lets people take his work. Like he'll talk shit to niggas, like and but he don't face him when he's supposed to face him. He'll let the other niggas face him, like, and that's the shit. Like like the whole thing with Matias, like he should have fought Matias for the belt, but but Paro took his work, and then as soon as he did that, then all of a sudden he wanted to fight Paro now.
I don't want to do the IBF rehydration clause. What belt you got now, nigga?
Exactly. So that motherfucker's that's the one thing about him I can't stand. It's like, don't let motherfuckers take your work, bro. Like he does it on purpose. Like fight them niggas. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Like you could have been champion. Like again, yes, you took apart Paro with a jab, but it's like you didn't. But Matias is the type of fighter that you needed to actually kind of prove yourself against. And Lemos almost beat him. So it's like, I mean, if there's a fight with an upset on here, I mean, it's definitely this one. But fun things too is like if I look at the money line, Hitchens is minus 550 and Duarte is plus 360. Personally, I think that for money, I think that's kind of crazy because consider the type of fighter Duarte is. Hitchens' point decision is minus 220. Hitchens' stoppage is plus 470. Draw is 1,500. Duarte decision is plus 600, and Duarte KO is plus 800. Truthfully, there's probably more value in a Duarte KO more than anything. Like I mean, and I honestly think Duarte will probably KO him. Like he'll probably drown him late and stop him late.
Hell no. I like Duarte, but that's a little. Yeah, I don't see that at all.
It'll be way too late. It's going to.
I just think, like, to me, because I keep hearing about Lemos, and people are starting to draw back to that. But like Duarte isn't the same type of fighter as Lemos. Like Lemos is a pure pressure fighter that can be reckless, but that's actually good against Hitchens because Hitchens is worse against unconventional fighters. But like Duarte is like an inside fighter, but like if he can't pin you down, he can be outworked. And I don't see him pinning down Hitchens. I think Hitchens will outwork him.
So you're going with
decision. Hitchens' decision.
Yeah. What about you, Rome?
My bad. I'm going Duarte decision.
Duarte decision. Okay. All right. Pilot, you?
Hitchens' decision. You said you got Duarte by KO late.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. What did Rome say?
Duarte decision.
I'm gonna laugh when Hitchens makes this look easy.
I might say Hitchens. I want to say Hitchens. You know what? I'm gonna say Hitchens gonna stop him. Fuck it. I think Hitchens gonna show a level and kind of have his outbreak parties, a breakout. So yeah, Hitchens stops him in 9 or 10.
I mean, if that happens, that would shock me. Like
me too, but I'm going for it. Fuck it.
Yeah. And then, of course, if Hitchens does that, then Hitchens isn't going to shut up. Like, dude's going to be, and obviously, you need a champion to separate themselves at 140 though. So, so if he stops someone who's notoriously difficult to hurt, it's only to stop down once, then that speaks that speaks like loudly. But I just don't think that Hitchens is going to make easy work of Duarte for some odd reason. Like I said, and I've seen Duarte like training. And Duarte looks like he's like fucking locked in, like fucking like roided and veins popping all over the place. That motherfucker, it looks like he's fucking ready. I just don't think it would be if Hitchens make it easy. Then hey, I'm wrong about that. But there's just something about Duarte. That I'm thinking to myself, like he's gonna make shit really hot for Hitchens in some fashion. But like I said, hopefully it is a good fight because, like I said, Duarte is not necessarily in dull fights. So, and I just don't see him making a dull fight of Hitchens unless Hitchens is on his back foot. Salute Android, and thank you for the donation. By the way, I just see it. I think Hitchens while boxing, he seems to step up with competition every time. Which he does. Like, I mean, he outboxed Pero, but that wasn't the most pleasing of fights to watch. And then he took apart Cambosis, which, like I said, people were just waiting for him to actually step on the gas to actually do it. And like, true, I think Hitchens is incredibly talented, but with this generation of fighters, it just seems like they have to stay in the first gear. Like finishing a fighter in the distance. It doesn't seem to be like the goal for some of these guys, and that's the shit that kind of aggravates the fuck out of me sometimes. Like it's okay, like if you're boxing them up and they're clearly starting to fade, it's okay to let your hands go and try to hit them with home run shots. You don't need to stick. You don't have to fight behind the jab all the fucking time, or use your jab to set up power shots. But Hitchens, I think, knows what's on the line for him, and like I said, Duarte is a very dangerous guy. So, like I said, I mean, if that's it, but if that's the co-main, shit, I'm not even mad at it. And then we got another interesting fight on there. We got Frank Martin and Nahir Albright. Frank Martin, of course, comes back after getting beat by Tank and knocks out Rances Barthélemy in 4 rounds. Like, he was the first person to really put Barthélemy away. It's a KO of the Year candidate. It's one of them. And Frank looked like he got rejuvenated. Like, everything just seemed to be improved with him. And I'm someone that thought, like, I didn't think he was, I mean, I thought he was raw, but he actually showed that. And Rances is not, Rances is not that far, it's not that far from giving other fighters like Jose Ramirez and Gary Antoine Russell like a lot of trouble in the ring, especially Ramirez. So just the fact that he laid him out like he did,
he did long layoff too. But I think the switch to Buddy McGirt helped him a lot. Shout out Derek James. He did what he could. Derek James is the guy that he might refine a little bit. He might like just kind of whatever your strengths are, kind of enhance them. But Buddy McGirt, you could just tell the way Frank was kind of being twitchy and he was in lateral movement. And he was looking different out there. I ain't gonna lie, he looked a little different.
Yeah, because Derek James focuses. Derek James doesn't teach defense, and that was a big thing in not only the Tank fight, but that Artem fight too, where he was getting hit and he was getting outboxed. He had to rally, I believe, to win that fight. Like, he almost came close to losing his 0 to that one. So yeah, Buddy made him a very well-rounded fighter though. Like, and like I said, and that was a big statement for him to do. And now here Albright though is infamous because he beat up Keyshawn Davis's brother, Kelvin, on the ESPN card. And this was the card that, Keyshawn decided to blow weight by 4.5 pounds, and subsequently he crashed the fuck out, afterwards, in the back where him and his brother attacked Albright and put a knot in his head and everything like that, because, they were being sore sports, which led to a whole bunch of fuckery in the back and everything like that. Shit was crazy. But I'm glad to see that I'm glad to see that people look up for Albright as like, you know what, give him a spot, and and he gets and this is a good. It's not even a crosswords fight because, like I said, Albright does have the style to make shit hot for Frank Martin and vice versa. P, what do you think about this fight? Oh, Pilot, what do you think about this fight?
Now here, Frank. Yeah, I mentioned I think before.
My bad. Oh, sorry. My
Oh,
bad.
go ahead.
No, I mean it's going to be a good fight. But I think Martin's riding a hot streak right now. You know, with that last, I think Frank Martin edges it out. But Albright is tough, and he gonna make him work for it. So, but I think Frank beats him. He beat to decision.
I'd be shocked if he stops him for sure. Yeah,
I don't think he's stopping him. Albright, if nothing else, Albright is tough.
Albright is a tough guy. Like I mean, like he almost beat Keyshawn himself. Like you know, like you know.
I don't know about almost beat. He did make it.
Keyshawn won that clearly, but I know
he made Keyshawn uncomfortable. But I think Keyshawn has gotten better since then. So
for sure,
that was a bad night at the office for him. I think like if they fought now, Keyshawn would beat him a lot more clearly. Albright is a tough guy though, and he's gonna make it. He's gonna make you work for the win. So he gonna make Frank work.
He can sing too, low key. I ain't gonna lie, pause. But that nigga be a double. You know,
his niggas that mentioned the singing ability.
but he's a good fighter. I mean, like he seems like a good guy too and shit. It's gonna be interesting because when this fight got announced, this is like one of the more intriguing fights on this card to me. You know, yeah, I don't think Frank's gonna knock him out, but I think Frank will win a tough decision. If Frank knocks him out, though. I mean, obviously Frank's kind of bubbling at 140. He's, I know he only got the one fight, and some people were overhyping the Rancis win. I guess the KO was KO of the year to close out the year. But I think if he can somehow get Nahir Bright out there, it would make a big statement for he would be definitely a big ass fight after that. You know what I'm saying? If you would, but I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Albright though. Like I like Albright's style fight. Like Albright is Philly. Like he has the Philly style down. I mean, he's only he's had 2 losses, but I mean, he lost his debut and then he lost to Jermaine Ortiz on Showbox. And Ortiz definitely won that fight. Like that was a clear win for him for Ortiz. But yeah, no, but ever since then, like I said, like he's been like on a little bit of a hot streak, and I think it's just. I think it's just worse because I know he'd been doing the TCL league for most of his career because whereas only fighting like maybe one round or whatever, TCL is a little bit different. So I mean he's still young though, but I just so basically like a fight like this will go over huge. But like I said again, like this is a fight where you can't see an upset happening if Frank isn't careful. But I mean, I do think Martin is going to win. He's going to win a tough decision. I mean, it's a 10 rounder, so I'm thinking it's probably going to be like a 96-94, 96-95 type of. And Albright will make him work. That's for sure. Like I said, it should be a really, really good fight though. I know P said Martin. What about you, Pilot?
Yeah, Frank Martin by a decision. A decision, yeah. Close. It'll be a close fight, but he might even drop Albright. But I think he'll win. He'll win a competitive fight.
What about you, Rome?
Yeah, I feel like Albright punches with what would I say? Nigga punches with not concern. What's the word? Nigga, help me out.
Intent.
Smoking. Yeah,
intent?
With purpose. With purpose is the word I was looking for. He punches with purpose. Yeah. So I feel like if Frank gets connected with one of them purpose punches, it could be a quick night. But if not, Frank got it, but by decision. So unless Albright knocks the nigga out, he ain't winning. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
and that's it too. I mean, Albright though does have some unorthodox punches that he does land. I mean, granted, he was landing against the weak Davis brother, but he was landing them.
Yeah, and he throws each punch like he gonna land it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like that type of fighting style. Nigga gonna hit you.
Yeah, it's just rather can you adjust to it or you hit him in return. Like I said, like I said, Albright is a good gatekeeper-ish type of fighter for just to see where someone like Martin is at. Like, I mean, I'm just looking at their odds right now. I mean, they don't have the money line up. So Martin is a minus 320 favorite,
it's
and
probably
Albright
a
is
decision.
plus 225.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, you can see an upset if Martin, but Martin though is super strong though. He is physically strong. I don't think.
Yeah. How many rounds is it?
It's 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be 7-3, 7-3 for Mark. Easy.
Yeah,
Yeah, 7-3 easy. Like Martin might lose the first two, lose a middle round, but yeah, probably 7-3.
Yeah, because Albright is not a slow starter. Albright starts working immediately.
The way he fucked up, I know Kevin Davis got like 2 or 3 gifts on Pro Ball. Like he was bound to get fucked up, right? But the
But
way he
also, go ahead.
I said the way he fucked up Keyshawn's brother, almost ruined Keyshawn's career. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
But him coming in early like that might activate Frank to be like, you know what, let me just start getting into my shit because this nigga's not playing.
Yeah, no,
facts, I agree with that. Facts, yeah. Because Frank usually takes a round or two. I know he's kind of fast in the tank.
Right.
He usually, quote unquote, takes a couple round of download type shit. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
everybody want to be Terrence Crawford, but nobody can be Terrence Crawford.
And that is facts. Terrence Crawford fights mean, that which is not a lot of fighters fight. Well, he fights mean and skilled. One fighter is so a lot of these fighters are missing one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of niggas are missing the mean shit. Honestly, most of these niggas will be too technical. I need niggas to be like, I'm going to go in here and hurt this nigga.
And the ones that be fighting mean are the ones that are not necessarily technical, but they're not necessarily that great either.
Yo, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. A little flashback. I was watching fucking, what was it, Wilder-Dezurn 2. The way he was just like beating on this nigga, it was like somebody's dad just came home. And he was just chasing this nigga around, just bang, bang. It was. I was just laughing the whole time. Like it wasn't even a fight. It was just funny.
Yeah, no, I think Wilder has. Funny thing, I don't think Stavro wasn't really supposed to fight him again. Because Stavro at the time was the only guy that actually took Wilder the distance, and it didn't.
Yeah, but that second fight, the nigga whooped his like something happened.
And Black History Month, and I had my boy had a house party. It was kind of like, God damn, nigga.
It was funny. Like if you rewatch it, it's just funny. It's like this nigga can't believe he's getting beat like this.
Yeah, to me, that kicked off the whole Wilder, the whole Wilder
fan club.
Yeah, because that shit went viral as fuck too. I remember that was like everywhere. Everyone was like, "Oh, he did a Euro step KO."
Hey, real quick, I was mentioning because, like, I won't lie, second fight was at a house party. I was at third at the casino, and there was a long ass line. Like that, Tyson Wilder. Tyson Fury Wilder was one of the. It's got to be like one of the biggest fights of the past decade in terms of their trilogy. In terms of casual sort of
absolutely, it ain't been nothing like it since.
Bud Canelo was big.
Crawford Canelo was big.
Yeah, that was
Crawford
big.
Spence was big.
But yeah, that one too is one of the bigger fights in the past decade for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just
now. Now it's just crazy to see where they are. One has a fight on Netflix. And the other one is having a fight on regular DAZN, but against a fighter that most people think he'll lose to.
Was there a press conference today for that in the morning?
For the Fury fight, yeah.
For the Fury Makba? No, okay. I missed it. Nobody really talked. I feel like it's not getting traction. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's a lot of reasons why. Fury's doing this, and Makmadov is mid. It's turned out to be he's very mid, so it's like, it's just like. But Netflix, as I mentioned before, Netflix, they'll roll the dice on Fury because Fury's reality shows do big ratings on Netflix. Like he has another one. Like I actually sat down and watched the Fury reality shows. You truly see how fucked up Tyson Fury is. Like, bro has problems, but it makes for good TV. So yeah, Netflix was probably we can get we can air his reality show and then we can air his fight. So I mean, I see the play there. Wilder though it's a little different for his next fight though, but we'll see how those. I mean, obviously those two will never fight in a fourth fight again because there's no reason to, and I just don't see it happening. But we'll see how that goes. And then last fight on here is the fight that I truly don't think doesn't belong on here. We got Beck the Bully and Cena Abeko. Like, this is an opener fight. This should be a prelim fight, actually. Like, of all the fights on this card, that's the fight that should actually.
Oh my god, we still watching crew cut Beck box? No, I'm good.
This should be the fight when you walking into the venue, niggas just on the side.
Muffin top boy. Does he still have the muffin top haircut? Yeah, no, I'm good.
But the thing too is Beck the Bully is coming off a fight of the year. Like, dude had against Darius Fulgham. Like, that was.
I'm talking shit, but he's been very mid a lot of times to me. So it's hard to watch him fight. So the fact he's coming off a fight of the year means it's going to be the next fight's going to be a fucking dud.
Yeah, because I remember too. I know the fight before the Fulgham fight, like that he almost lost that shit one, and then the other one, like it was like a technical decision, but he didn't look good in. Yeah, it's been a while too. Like, his style of fighting is just like, hey, because you want him to step, because he's damn near fighting like once a year now. And that Fulgham fight though was good shit though. Like, that was really good fucking fight. Abeko though is mid guy. Personally, I don't even think he should even really be fighting. Like, dude has lost to Morrell, dude has lost to Iglesias, like he's lost to Shishkin. Like, he's as mid gets. Like, and like he's been KO'd in two of his last three fights. So it's like, Beck the Bully should get rid of him. And if Beck the Bully's out here struggling with dude and this goes a distance, then something went horribly wrong. And Beck the Bully is probably spoiling on the vine though. But does anyone think other than a KO is going to happen in this fight?
Beko's damaged goods. I mean, then again, Beck the Bully hasn't had that killer. I know he pulled late against Fulgham, which was a great fight last year. But yeah, Beck the Bully should win this fight. But Temperment's been ever since he got knocked out by Rosado. So I can't 100% guarantee a KO. To be honest,
I mean, he basically power boxes and he's a good body puncher. Like, but he fights almost like a goddamn caveman. But like, he's tough though. Like, yeah, that Rosado fight though, yeah, like big fucking surprise, like how he got laid out. But he did beat Rosado in the rematch though. But it wasn't really an interesting rematch though. Like, at least their first fight though was Rosado got dropped and then Rosado dropped him.
At the KO of the year, yeah, that one was ho hum. Yeah, that was ho hum for sure. The rematch was ho hum. Yeah.
But Abeko though is mid though. Like, Beck the Bully should get rid of dude. Like, it shouldn't even go past like 4 rounds. Like, Abeko, like I said, if this goes a distance, that means like something went horribly wrong. And most likely people will probably be like, "What the fuck?" But yeah, no, I mean, there's not even. The money line's definitely on here though, and Beck the Bully is an overwhelming favorite, almost embarrassingly, an overwhelming favorite. But yeah, like if there's a fight that should be an open prelim, it's that fight. But like I said, I mean, it should be like, obviously it's on pay-per-view, so I think it's like $44, or I know there's like 20% off code somewhere, or of course if you have the DAZN Ultimate subscription, it's on there. It's up there. So, if anything, it should be a good night of fighting. Especially on American soil, which American soil truly needs it. And then earlier in the day too, in the UK, we have a rematch that probably doesn't really need that didn't need to happen. I know this is one of the fights that LB was more excited about. Because one guy's finished, the other guy has his foot out the door, but for some reason they're running it back with Lee Wood and Josh Warrington. I mean, the first fight was I'm not mistaken, Warrington was whooping his ass, and then
Can this be a loser leaves town match, please?
Yeah, honestly, it should because Lee Wood. And funny thing still, at one point, Lee Wood though was really like on a hot streak, and then he got KO'd by Mauricio Lara, and then after that, although he beat Lara in the rematch, he hasn't looked as great. And, he's because I know he had been talking about retiring and stuff like that, but he keeps he moved up, and then he's been injured and whatever. It's like he hasn't been Lee Wood in a long time, no matter what that Warrington fight did. But Warrington though has looked ever since he got cracked by Mauricio Lara. He's been a dirty fighter. Like dude used to be like an elite volume punching fighter, and then like once he got cracked by Mauricio Lara, like it was like he hasn't looked the same since. Like he struggled with Lara in the rematch. Kiko Martinez, was almost like he stopped him, but he got a broken jaw and shit like that. It was, and then Luis Lopez, like he lost to him close fight. Lee Wood stopped him, and then Anthony Cacace like beat him up over 12 distance. So it's like Warrington has definitely seen much more better days because that's what it is. Like that volume punching shit, like that shit don't that shit like if you look at the wars that dude has, eventually that shit will kind of wear you out. So do we think that Lee Wood's gonna repeat knocking dude out again?
Absolutely.
What round we thinking?
5.
Pilot, what about you?
I think Wood's seen better days. But I will say Warrington's gonna win a decision this time.
Oh wow. P, what about you?
I also got a Warrington decision.
I don't know. I think Lee Wood can actually. I think Lee Wood will.
You know what? Let me discuss that. Lee Wood decision.
Yeah. And I got the. So basically, Lee Wood is a minus 180 favorite. Warrington is plus 140. So the odds are close. Wood decision is plus 260. Wood KO is plus 150. A draw is 1500. Warrington plus decision plus 260 and Warrington KO plus 470. I mean, it's truthfully, it's not out of the run. It's not out of the realm that Warrington can actually KO Wood, but it's just like I think it just depends more. Like to me, it's just more like who has more in the tank, and I just think Wood does, but not by much. Where I think Wood has had hard fights, but not as hard as Warrington's fights. Like Warrington has had a shitload of hard fights. And like I said, he's just been increasing. Like ever since he got cracked, he's been increasingly dirty in his fights. Like do be forgetting that this is that there's some rules involved in boxing, and motherfucker be using his head a lot, like literally, like launching his head into someone. Like bro was dirty.
Hammerhead, shark ass motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I hate watching. I mean, sometimes of course with the UK. Good fights, but it's like I hate watching Warrington. He's just so dirty and makes it rough. Which I mean, it's a fight, but still, it's just kind of it's not eye pleasing. Pause,
Yeah, it is, but with Warrington used to be able to kind of control what he did. Like before, like dude never used to be so fucking dirty. Like dude just used to be like used to put hands on people. Like I remember I gave him props for what he did to Frampton because I was like, because that I was like he beat the shit out of Frampton. I'm like, okay, that's what it is. But like I said, but he lost something when he started getting KO'd, and then he started just being dirty. Like people are breaking his jaw. He's dirty. Like the referees are stopping it not because of his broken jaw and everything like that. He's just been dirty. But like I said, I think Wood can I think Wood will be able to KO him out of this. Again this time around though. But it wouldn't surprise me though if Wood gets KO'd himself. And then we got the fight, which is on Sunday. We got Clarissa Shields and Franchise Crews-Dezurn, the rematch. Because, both of them, they fought off in their debuts. Like, it was on Showtime. It was on YouTube, too. And It's actually that might be a top 3 Clarissa Shields fight in terms of because for 4 rounds, like they were throwing some serious hands at each other, like serious hands. Like Franchon was probably one of the few people that didn't like back down. Like they were throwing some crazy hands at each other. That shit was nice, But now, I mean, obviously that was like back then. I think it was like 168. Now, of course, this is for Clarissa Shields, as she likes to mention over and over again, her undisputed heavyweight title. And Franchon Crews. Shout out to Franchon though, because we had a chance to interview her late last year. And she was very gracious in doing that, and she said some real shit, and she definitely mentioned her thoughts on Franchon. So yeah, and obviously if you haven't seen that interview, go ahead and we have it out there, and I think we have a snippet of it on our IG for that fight though. But this fight, if anything, should not disappoint. This fight should probably be wild, and of course. With Clarissa Shields, I mean, obviously she's in the news more for non-boxing related reasons than it is for boxing, like the Papoose thing and haters and Layla Ali and
I saw Boosie gonna be there. I saw Boosie gonna be in the mix. Kelly Price, I forgot who else, but Boosie, Kelly Price, and what's it? Saw Baby. This is the Detroit rapper. Saw Baby. Is that Rome? You know who I'm talking about?
Sada Baby.
Sada Baby.
Sada Baby. Yeah.
I'll say it's for Clarissa though. Like even though she's always forever holding events in Detroit, because but she knows where her bread is buttered.
She sells it out. Ever since I think the Papoose thing might have been the Bennett decision because ever since then she's always on Shade Room type. You know what I'm saying? Like she's got the black culture. Like the culture is behind her a lot more since the Papoose thing. It feels like.
Yeah, she got that mainstream fame now.
Yeah.
Like everything she does.
She had a movie. I don't. None of us watched that movie, but she had a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I watched the movie. The movie was actually pretty good. It was a good movie.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, no, I recommend it. Like the movie that she was, the movie that about her life though, it was damn good. I enjoyed it.
Huh, that's dope. That's dope. I heard mixed reviews. I heard it was good.
Yeah, it was a good movie. But yeah, Clarissa Shields though, she she has the culture behind her because even though the culture's behind her, but she has a lot of distractors because obviously she doesn't do herself favors because the last time we talked about her, she called some random YouTuber's show in front of acted as like she was acted as a fan. And then as she kept talking, it's kind of revealed that it was her that was actually the fan, which is crazy shit. Like, bro, like I was like, how much time in the day do you have to actually do some random shit like that? Just to go on a random YouTuber's channel, a show, and call in and act like not her. Like, yeah, that's some other shit. Like
and then give yourself up halfway through the conversation.
Exactly. Like. To me, if a fighter's screws it needs to be tightened if they're doing some shit like that, But it seems like she's in the move. She's and if it's not obviously the Papoose stuff, whether it's the making food for Papoose or people talking about the fact that Papoose is legally married, and she has people have something to say about that shit, and then her rapping and stuff like that. She's in. She's basically in the news for everything except for boxing. So, but like Pilot said though, she does get the celebrities to go to her fights too. Considering that Salida Promotions is not as big as other promotions and stuff like that.
They had a card last week. Salida re-signed her. Like she definitely making money out there in Detroit for her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because this is because remember Clarissa Shields at one time used to beg PBC to actually sign her. Instead like that, because one thing that Al doesn't do is he doesn't sign women to find on PPC cards for whatever reason. I think he's just old school on that. Yeah, but I remember because before she used to have audience on Showtime, but then she found something on the Zone and she sells out her arenas. Like if you actually watch her fights as of late, like when she's going there, like the energy is just there. Like she does her thing. And then, go ahead, Pilot.
No, I was gonna say, facts. Like, it's kind of got that hood vibe to it, but Boosie walking you out, Kelly Price singing the anthem, like she has that, like for a woman, she has that thing where it's like the quote is actually she's like the woman Floyd because like she don't get knocked out for nothing like that. But like she's regarded as the best.
But I feel like the theatrics is new. So do you think the theatrics is going to distract her from the main goal?
See, that's the thing. That's a good point because that's
Because all of this shit is new. Going against Remy, Papoose, all
people are saying her pad work.
all
I try to judge the pad. I try to judge the pad work, but there's a clip that came out recently of today of her and Papoose holding the mitts for her pad work, and it did look as sharp. And she has been looking ever since she went to heavyweight. She kind of has looked a little chunkier, right, thicker.
Yeah.
Well, it's not gonna look sharp with Papoose holding it. Where
That's true. That's a good point. Good point.
True that.
Good point. No, but I do think, I mean, friend of the show, the DAZN Crews, it's gonna, it would be cool to see an upset, but the thing is, Clarissa's just another level. It's hard to bet against her.
Yeah, because like I said, it's been a while since she's had it's been a while since she's had a close fight. Like the closest she's come to losing. Like she hasn't really come close to losing. Like she's had, I think her closest fight is just with Savannah Marshall.
Yeah, she got dropped a couple times, but she got dropped once or twice. But Savannah Marshall was a closer fight, and she won that one clear.
Exactly. So, to me, I mean, I just don't think I think heavyweight is just too. I mean, because with women fighters, I mean, once you get past 168, like the talent for women over there drops significantly. So it's like an island. I think there's like 20 women fighters that operate above 168, like that.
Do you feel she might retire soon? Kinda. You get a vibe like she might be done soon. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't she like 23?
No, I think she just turned 30 recently.
She's turned 30. She old, bro. She's 30. Yeah.
She came in the game kind of young, but I feel like she kind of hit the pinnacle, and she might want to start a family type shit. So I think she could be done. I don't know how much she got left, because who else she gonna fight? You know what I'm saying? Who else she gonna fight in this thing?
Yeah, like she hasn't had any close fights. Like I mean, even the hard fights she's won them clear. So, but then I think it's just now because she has the culture behind her, and she has all this other stuff. She has mainstream attention on her. I mean, she hasn't fallen up there, but this rematch, like if Crews-Dezurn is like putting a fur in the ass, then you could probably say, oh, okay, maybe it's just maybe her extracurricular activities is kind of distracting her and stuff like that. Because like I said, she hasn't fallen off performance wise. Like she just got bigger. That's all. But do we think that Franchon can pull off the upset this time around or no?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Listen. I never bet against Franchon anymore because because she's proven us wrong a lot, proven me wrong a lot. Mm-hmm. So I would not be surprised if she pulls it off. But yeah, I'm going with Shields.
I'm going to say what?
I mean,
all that to say this.
Yeah,
I was about to say, nigga, what?
And I won't lie. She gave us an interview. It's a really dope interview. We had with her. But I won't lie. She like I watched her last fight with this Mexican girl. Mexican girl beat her. I ain't gonna lie, but she got the gift. She got the gift.
And that's coming after she took Shadeja Green's 0. But then I thought she was gonna lose that fight, and she whooped Shadeja Green's ass in that one.
Yeah, that was make fun.
And then she did, and I mean she did lose to Savannah Marshall fair and square though. But Savannah Marshall didn't look all that great though. Like Savannah Marshall definitely didn't look all that great, and that was coming after the war that they had with the war she had with Shields. So I mean, I would definitely want to put it past Franchon, like because if anything, like if it's any case of what their first fight's like, they're gonna throw hands. But I just think Shields is the sharper puncher. Like Franchon, like she punches like the female Sean Porter. That's how she fights to me.
Yeah, that's a good. Yes, I can see that.
No, make no like she punches hard. But her technique is I think it's the one that kind of stops her from getting those KOs. Like she only has 2 KOs though, but she punches extremely hard. But it's just how she punches, it's just I always think that kind of held her back. But she's plenty tough though. Like she's strong and everything like that. But if she threw whereas Shields throws the straighter punches, but Shields doesn't throw knockout shots. Like she doesn't send her punches like that. Like their punching power is basically the same. Just it's all mechanics. Like one doesn't turn over shots, the other one just kind of wings her power. So, I mean, but like I said, it is not their first fight from being a war. So, I mean, I just think this will be the same thing though. But yeah, I think Shields will probably win this one, a clear decision. Anyone else? Anyone else trying to bet a KO or an upset?
No.
No, it's Shields' decision. That's it.
Yeah, and they have full odds on this shit too. Like Shields is a minus 2,400 favorite.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Franchon is plus 1,140.
You might as well just pull that shit off the fucking pull that shit down. Like, what the fuck? What's the
Shields?
Odds?
Yeah, Shields is a decision is minus 550, which is up par for the course. A Shields KO is plus 470, which would surprise the fuck out of me. A draw is plus 2,500, which is not a bad bet, but that's a proceed with caution. Franchon decision is plus 1,400, and a Franchon KO is plus 2,700.
Do you see how much they believe in Shields' power by saying like, "Yo, you gonna win the fight minus 2,400, but to knock her out plus 400? Hell no! Nah. Like you gonna win, but knockout, hell no."
Nah. Shields is like the woman Floyd. Like her decision's always a safe bet. You know what I'm saying? Her winning decision always,
It's always a safe bet, and like you can't really win no money on that unless it's just like, But if Franchon's, I don't think Franchon's even been down. I think she told us I don't think she's ever been knocked down in a fight.
She's tough. She's sturdy, tough. She's
for sure. Yeah. I mean, she fought that steroid monster, and that steroid monster was beating her ass though. But she took it like a G though.
Was that a dude or no?
No, that's an actual woman. Just hot, love token testosterone.
Oh, I got you.
No, that woman had a kid. But
that was like Miss Wong. She looked like a man. You remember that if you watch Mad TV?
Yeah, but I honestly, I'm not taken aback by much in boxing. But when she spoke, I was like, "Whoa, that voice is deep." I was like, "What the fuck?" And if I think too, because she got on the test because she used to be like 200 pounds, and then she took the test to go all the way down to like
Joanna man in boxing. The fuck.
Yeah, it was like I said though, like Franchon, it was amazing that Franchon didn't get seriously hurt in that fight though. But because I remember it took her a while to get her belts back too because they didn't want to give the belts back to Franchon. Like Franchon had to fight to get her belts back. After she tested positive for that test though. So yeah, Franchon got my respect for just being ultra tough, like super super tough.
Yeah, but she had a good personality on her. She's solid. She's a solid woman, for sure. She's
and funny thing too, like they've been talking shit to each other, Franchon and Clarissa though. But I don't know if people have been kind of paying attention to it though. I don't know if it's just for show or whatever. Because usually like they've always been on good terms. Like they've always been on good, But yeah, they've been talking some shit to each other. But I don't know. I don't know if it's like legit. It's just they're just trying to get the fight up though. But either way, like I said, it's on a Sunday, so hopefully, like I said, because Detroit's going to be there, and they're going to show out, and it's going to be rocking. So it should be a good time though. Of course, we'll probably casting on that day too. So most likely, as this shit's going on, definitely be watching it while we're casting. But that's like I said, it should be good. It should be a really good weekend of fights or whatever. Of course, we're hoping for some fight of the year, some more KO of the year candidates and stuff of that nature. So before we get up out of here, does anyone have anything else that they want to bring up real quick? Or
I'm good.
Or Pilot?
Nah, I got nothing. Nothing. Yeah,
we straight, nigga. We straight.
Yeah, shout out to LB. I know he wanted to do this, but had some shit going on, So but he'll probably let loose his thoughts probably maybe a little later this week, on the fights going on though. But for myself, Pat Scorpio doing a representative, for King People Dega B, for Conscious Pilot, and for Rome Top 5. This has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk. Where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time. Peace.
Peace.